One of the most agile and lightest aircraft in the modern world. Unparalleled Russian engineering creativity. Its small size and its radar-mounted payload made it an ideal killing machine for the Iron Dome and David Sling. The MiG-29 fighter jet obtained by Egypt from Russia. Special modifications enable it to blind Israel. Let's get to know this fighter jet that made Egypt a ghost. Let's get to know what the international press said about this plane. Russia Today newspaper headline. Egypt unveils a modified Russian fighter jet with terrifying armament. Arabiya newspaper headline. Faster than sound and amazing maneuvering. Get to know the MiG-29 fighter jet. These Soviet fighters are uniquely distinguished by their amazing maneuverability and great speed, which raises question marks about their ability to influence the skies of battle. The MiG-29 is a modern aircraft with very great combat capabilities and is capable of maneuvering and reaching targets, and launching missiles from long distances. The MiG-29 is a fourth-generation supersonic fighter comparable to American fighters such as the Boeing F/A-18 Hornet or General Dynamics F-16 Fighting Falcon. Short-range combat. Its main mission is to destroy enemy air targets, within the limits of radar coverage, and to destroy ground targets using unguided weapons in visual flight conditions. The fixed-wing profile with large leading-edge root extensions of the wing provides good maneuverability and controllability at subsonic speeds, including maneuvers at high angles of attack. There are about 1,600 fighters in service worldwide and about 600 of them are in service with the Russian Air Force. MiG-29 weapons. The fighter is equipped with 7 external hardpoints for weapons, and can carry up to 2 AR-27 medium-range air-to-air missiles, 6 short-range air-to-air missiles of the AR-73 and AR-60 types and 4 pods of unguided S-5, S-8 and S-24 missiles, according to the website Air Force Technology. In addition to aerial bombs weighing up to 3,000 kilograms and a 30 mm aircraft gun integrated with 150 rounds of ammunition. Targeting systems. The fighter is also equipped with a radar information and fire control system, including the N-019 radar developed by the Fazatron Research and Production Company in Moscow. An infrared search and tracking sensor, a laser rangefinder and a helmet-mounted target designator. As for long-range air combat, it uses radar guidance for the AR-27 missile. The Arab Defense website newspaper headlined. The Egyptian MiG-29 M2 aircraft appears with new armament. A model of an Egyptian MiG-29 M2 fighter aircraft appeared on it with suspension points with several types of weapons. The weapons carried by the fighter aircraft included 73 are short-range air-to-air missile guided by the pilot's helmet. 77 are long-range air-to-air missile guided by radar. 29 kh tactical missile against ground targets and fortifications. Ground glide bomb, of which there are 2 versions with a range of 65 kilometers and 120 kilometers, as it had never appeared in Egypt as part of the MiG armament. This is the first announcement of its presence as part of the Egyptian MiG armament. The MiG-29 M2 is a Russian twin-seat multi-role fighter aircraft developed primarily from the MiG-29M fighter, also known as the MiG-33, which began its development in the mid-1990s from the old MiG-29 to increase its capabilities in air-to-air and air-to-surface missions and achieve the best possible competition against similar Western fighters such as the American F-16 by adding new engines, 9 air intakes, adding filters that prevent foreign objects from entering the engine, and increasing the weapon suspension points to 9 points with the ability to launch laser and television smart bombs, in addition to increasing the combat range, navigation systems, warning of approaching terrain, and developing the mechanical flight control system with a digital one-by-wire, fly-by-wire, and raising the combat and air engagement capabilities. Smithsonian headline: The Truth About the MiG-29. How U.S. Intelligence Solved the Cold War Killer. A Polish Air Force MiG-29 is in the shadows. This year, the Polish Air Force is upgrading the electronic systems on half of its 31 MiG-29s. A MiG-29 Fulcrum outside the National Air and Space Intelligence Center at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio looks like a wasp's nest is growing in its nose. Its truss frames are torn and tattered. Bird droppings are dripping from the radar dome. The plane looks like a war trophy displayed like a head on a peg. It is, in fact, a war trophy, acquired in a Cold War victory. It is one of 17 MiG-29s that the U.S. government purchased from the former Soviet state of Moldova in 1997, a deal that prevented the planes from being sold to Iran. The disintegrating Soviet Union was in no position to stop the purchase, and the deal became another stain on the Soviet Union's collapse. Any military establishment in any country would be upset if its adversary had the opportunity to evaluate and test its latest weapons, says Moscow-based aviation historian Sergei Isayev. I wonder how happy the White House and the Pentagon would be if Mexico, for example, tried to sell UH-60L Black Hawk helicopters to the Russian Federation. The acquisition also gave Western analysts, some of whom work inside the gloomy building of the National Intelligence Center, a chance to study a fighter they had been watching from afar for 20 years. When it first appeared in 1977, the MiG-29, like its distant predecessor the MiG-15, was a stunning revelation. The Soviets were chasing American aviation technology. U.S. intelligence first learned about the new Soviet aircraft from satellite images in November 1977, around the time of the aircraft's first flight. Just by looking at the size and shape of the aircraft, it became clear that the Soviets were developing a counterpart to our F-16 and F-18, says Benjamin Lambeth, author of the 1999 book Russian Air Power in Crisis, who in the late 1970s worked as a defense analyst at the RAND Corporation in Santa Monica, California. From all the different sources and methods of intelligence we had to gather electronic and other information, the U.S. government learned a fair amount about the aircraft early on, and it was clear that we had to do something. What the Air Force did was start developing stealth technology and electronic systems capable of tracking and targeting multiple aircraft at once. In 1981, it issued its first formal requirements for the next generation of fighter technology, the Advanced Tactical Fighter, which eventually became the F-22 Raptor. The Eurasian Times headlined, MiG-29 sells well while MiG-35 struggles to find buyers. What's happening to Russia's fighter jets? The Bulgarian military newspaper headlined, The MiG-35 is still not able to beat the MiG-29 and something is wrong. The newspaper said, The MiG-29 remains an aircraft capable of performing specific roles such as air defense and tactical operations. In missions that do not require the advanced capabilities of the MiG-35, the MiG-29 proves its effectiveness. Russia's well-established logistics and maintenance infrastructure for the MiG-29 helps reduce operational costs and facilitate maintenance. The phasing out of the extensive fleet of MiG-29s will take some time. Until the MiG-35 becomes more widespread, the MiG-29 will remain a key component of the Russian Air Force.